Hello everyone. So someone has asked me this doubt. So in this question we have been given an ellipse, standard equation of an ellipse with center as O. I'm taking that as the origin, and A is greater than B, so it is like an horizontal ellipse I can say. So tangent at any point P on the ellipse meets coordinate axis at x and y. So x-axis at x and y-axis at capital Y. And n is the foot of perpendicular from the origin on that tangent. So I have drawn a tangent at some random point P which intersects the axis at x and y, and n is the foot of perpendicular from the origin to that tangent. So again, now I have given two things. I have been given minimum length of xy as 36 and maximum length of pn as 4. So using this information, I have to calculate the eccentricity of this given ellipse. So first of all, the basic thought in what comes to my mind is that we have been given xy and pn. So first of all, we need to calculate the expression of these lengths. Also, another thing that we should keep in mind is that we have been given the tangent at any point P. So it would be best to assume that point P in terms of the parametric coordinates, which is P as a cos theta, comma b sin theta. I hope you know how to represent a point on an ellipse in terms of parametric coordinates. So I am not explaining that. So again, the equation of tangent, as you all know, is x cos theta by a plus y sin theta by b equals to 1. This should be pretty obvious. Okay, so again, I can easily calculate the x and y intercept of this line as x as a sec theta comma 0 and y as 0 comma b cosec theta. Okay, so the length of xy can be easily calculated as under root of a square sec square theta plus b square cosec square theta. So again, now the next step I have done is to calculate the coordinates of the photoperpendicular point n. So I've directly used the formula of the photoperpendicular. You can also do it using finding the equation of the line ON by writing a perpendicular to this line xy which passes through the origin, and then finding out the intersection point of xy and ON. So this method is also correct, but I find it to be a little bit lengthy, so I have directly used the formula. So again, using this formula, I get the coordinates of n as this. Okay, so the next step that for me is to calculate the length of Pn. So again, there are multiple methods to do that. First of all, you can do directly as you know the coordinates of Pn. So directly distance formula can be applied, or I can write it in terms of OP square minus ON square. Again, as this is a right angle triangle, so I can use Pythagoras theorem and write that. So I will be using the Pythagoras theorem here and writing it like that. And this is the reason I am writing it in this form, because it makes the further steps easier for me, because I tried doing it using the distance formula in Pn and it was not so direct. The method I wanted to use is not so direct using that method. So I have used the Pythagoras theorem here. So now I know the equation of xy and also the equation of Pn, basically the distance or the lengths of these two line segments. So the next step is that I need to find the minimum value of xy and the maximum value of Pn. So again, what I will be doing is that xy is this expression and I need to minimize it. So I can write it using the simple trigonometric properties. Sec square theta equals to 1 plus tan square theta and cosec square theta equals to 1 plus cot square theta. So I get this, and again, as these terms are positive, I can directly use the inequality am is greater than or equal to gm on these two terms, and using that I get that this term is always greater than or equal to twice of a square b square. Sorry, twice of ab. So again, I put that because it would, since this is greater than that, so this would also be always greater than that. So minimum value of xy comes out to be under root of a square plus b square plus 2ab, which was the minimum value of this term. So this is basically the whole square of a plus b, and we are taking its under root, so I get a plus b, and this value is given to us as 36. So this is the first equation I get. So the next step, similarly, I have to do for Pn. Now again, Pn, as you can see, I've written in this form, so which I've copied here. So now writing this form is pretty easy, it's pretty helpful, because now I can directly use am greater than gm. Okay, one thing to note here is that I wrote a square cos theta plus b square sin theta. So then I used the property that sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. to further simplify it and convert it into this expression. This is because now I can directly use AM is greater than or equal to GM for this term. Okay, otherwise I was not able to use them. And again, you can maximize it using differentiation and all that, but I personally find it to be a little bit lengthy with terms in such high powers involving sine theta and cos theta. So again, you can use that method if you are comfortable in it, but I preferred using AM GM inequality here. So so applying AM greater than or equal to GM in this equation, I get that this term is always greater than or equal to 2AB. So again, so this whole term of Pn would be less than or equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab, which is a minus b. And again, sorry, I have to write maximum here instead of minimum. Yes. So I get the value of a minus b as 4, which was given to me in the question. So I have now two equations, 1 and 2. So I can solve this to get the value of a as 20 and b as 16. Now again, the rest of the steps are pretty easy to calculate the eccentricity, which is under root of 1 minus b by a square. So I get it as eccentricity as 3 by 5, which is the correct answer to this question. So I hope you all understood this question. Again, this is, I would say, not a very easy question, but just involves a bit of writing the step by step writing equations and writing the coordinates. And again, I think this step could be a little bit difficult of using AM GM inequality here, and similarly in this here, simplifying it in this form. So this might not click immediately, but if maybe you would have done similar questions in trigonometry where we are required to minimize or maximize this term or such terms, so you might remember this approach, so you can use that. Or now that you know this approach, maybe you can apply it in other problems as well. So I hope you all understood my solution, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I would try to keep uploading regularly as much as possible, and please like this video and share it with all your friends so that more and more people are able to get the benefit of these videos. Again, if you have any doubts, feel free to upload them on the Google form that would be given in the description, or you can find it on my YouTube channel as well. So again, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.